Hello guys, welcome back to another video. Today we're making multiple tier list. A Toon tier, well not making, but talking about tier list, but a Toon tier list, a Twisted tier list, items tier list, and a Trinket tier list. First, we're going to talk about Toon tier list, since that's what people care about the most. So, yeah. We're going to start from bottom to top. And obviously the best toon in the game is Shrimpo. Shrimpo is the best toon in the game. He's so fucking overpowered. I don't know how he was accepted in the first place because how overpowered he is. Like, dude, how did Quell and Roxlum pass through testing? It's insane how overpowered he is. But in all seriousness, Shrimpo is obviously bad, but that's because he's supposed to be just a joke toon. But his only use is just being bait, as I call it, a subclass or role, which is going out and just having the Twisteds go on him and then dying immediately because you don't have stamina or movement speed. So yeah, you're just dead with Shrimpo. But at least you got value. Alright, next is Scraps. Scraps, where do I begin? She is horrible. Horrendous. She has awful stats. She has no survivability, really. Yes, despite her being a survivalist, her survivability is abysmal, dude. And the last thing, fuck, her ability is pretty bad. How she's been the worst toon since launch. It's actually depressing. And the funny thing is, her buff that is coming out is just a quicker time to grapple and lower cooldown. Her stats are the main issue. 2 movement speed. Low movement speed is just not good in general. And stamina is the worst stat right now. So like, yeah, it's just not good. Next is Roger. 4-star extraction speed is barely any faster. It's only a 6-second difference. So yeah, I would not use Roger because you're sacrificing movement speed for 6 seconds. Survivability in this game is pretty important, and same with stats. His stats are mediocre. He has no ability, which kills him, and his survivability is ass. Next is Poppy. Poppy has decent-ish survivability, but her stats are bad, and her ability is horrendous. What else was I supposed to talk about Poppy? Like, she's bad, but not as bad as the other two. Next is V. The most overrated toon in this game. Shit, even Brightney is more overrated than her, I think, actually. But, whatever. Brightney, fuck. V is bad. Why do I hear the police? No. But, for real though, V is just bad because her stats are bad. 5-star extraction plus 4 skill check leaves very little room for the rest of her stats. 2 movement speed plus 2 stealth is a horrible combination. So, here's an argument that I hear people saying when I say V is C. Use movement speed items The fact that I have to rely on items to live means once I run out, I'm dead. That's not good. I need to survive without relying on items. So, yeah, that's one bad thing. Trinkets, though. Trinkets are just overpowered. That's all I gotta say. So, but it doesn't make V good. Like, you're forced to run 2 movement speeds since your extraction is already good enough. You do not need Mag Glass plus a ward on her. Oh yeah, let's talk about her abilities. Her passive is bottom 5. Her passive is so bad that it's bottom 5. Her passive has genuinely no use if you have map knowledge, or if you just look and you see a big old red light on the machine. That's all you need for machine info. You do not need V's info passive. It's only good if you're learning maps. But by the time you get V, you're already in late game and probably will know most of the maps machine spawns. And her twisted ability. It's weaker Bright Knees. Just run Bright Knee because Bright Knee and V's ability are only good in Blackout when there's goo and scraps. Nothing else. They are bad abilities. There's no use to them. Distractor, if you have a good distractor, they'll know how to get all the twisteds already. So, like, yeah, no, there's genuinely no use for her abilities. Though, her, twisted info can be good if you're walking around as V. Which means V is selfish, dude. But that's if it's, like, not Blackout. If it is Blackout, you can just use it occasionally, or if your teammates say they need to check to make sure they're not gonna run into pebble or scrap scoob or whatever. And other than that, mediocre abilities. One that is bottom 5. And yeah, V is just bad. Survivability is awful, bad stats, and bad abilities. Brightney is next. Brightney has bad stats. One, stealth is genuinely a downside because it means no one can take chase off of you except for Shrimpo. My bad. And fuck. Oh yeah, her stats are mediocre. Stamina is the worst stat right now. So for stars, stamina is not that great. And for extraction, as I said with Roger, is only a 6-second difference between free star extraction. So yeah, that's fun. Next is Toodles. Toodles up here? How? The number C tier means these tunes aren't still not that great. So despite Toodles being this high, she's still not that good. My bad. I'm a little bit sick, if you couldn't tell. I will probably edit with caption saying if you notice my voice. Anyways, Toodles. Why is she up this high? The stealth, that's it. Stealth is an important stat. But other than that, yeah, Toodles is bad. That's it. Her stats are bad. Her survivability is okay. And her ability is bad. Next is Tegan. Tegan has decent survivability. Yes, decent. Free speed. Survivability is okay. The issue is her stats are pretty bad. 2 stealth is once again a downside. Remember, stealth is the second, or if not, the most important stat in the game, because you need to do machines right next to distractors as fast as you can. There's a reason why Astro is meta, and most of the free fucky wucky things. Free stealth. So, yeah. And as I said, stamina is still the worst stat in the game. It has it's only 5 seconds of running. 5 stamina equals 1 second of running. So each star is 25 stamina, which means 5 seconds of running per star. Yeah, it's not that great. Her ability, though, is pretty damn good. But her survivability and her ability carry her, and that's why she's this high. Razzle Dazzle. This one's probably controversial, but Razzle Dazzle at least has survivability on odd floors, unlike V. Even floors, you do have free stealth, so you will have an easier time, and will complete machines almost the same amount of time as V, in fact. My bad. So, yeah. Razzle-Dazzle's decent. They just need someone on even floors, like a Tisha or Goob. Next is, the Buxton. Buxton's okay. He's middle of the road. Like, he has good extraction and good survivability, but his stats are bad. Like, but his ability does carry him. His survivability is decent, just like Poppy's. So, yeah. Next is the Finno. Finno. Finn. How is he this high? Shouldn't he be D, F even? F tier. Finn F tier. F for Finn. No. Finn, it's pretty much just Shelly, but with a better passive and no active. Skill check is pretty strong in this game. It's the reason why Shelly is the best. But, yeah. He completes machines fast and runs to them quickly, so, yeah, he's a machine rusher. He gets on them quickly, he does them pretty decently fast, and, yeah. Next is Cosmo. Cosmo's stats are horrible. One skill check means golden skill checks are not worth that much. My bad. And, as I again said, 4-star stamina is bad because stamina is the worst stat in the game. He is carried by his stealth though, which is 4, so, and his ability. His ability is actually pretty good, as it allows him to be a health kit carrier for main Toons. Now we move up to A tier with Glisten. What? Glisten, despite having 2 stealth, is a bit better than Tegan and V, but that's mainly due to his survivability. His ability is decent. It's not the most reliable since it needs a teammate, but it's still decent, unlike Scraps, because it can go through walls. My bad. And, his extraction is pretty similar to Shelly's with Magless plus a ward. Shelly was faster though, so, yeah. Overall, he has decent stats, decent ability, and decent survivability. He's just decent, but still meta, a bit meta-ish. Next is Goob. Goob has pretty good stats. He has pretty good survivability and a good ability. His ability is life-saving. His stats are pretty good. The only downside is the 2 stealth, but you can be a backup distractor. You just gotta stay away from the Pebble and Tisha or Sprout, whoever's backup distracting, since Goob is the only 2-star stealth distractor. Remember, Goob is only a main distractor in the early floors. In the rest, Pebble needs to be the main distractor, while Goob backups. Next is Flutter. Flutter just never dies. Her stats are pretty iffy, but her survivability is mwah, and her ability is mwah. Mwah. She's not the best, because the rest have something she doesn't, but my bad. She's pretty strong. She's so strong, in fact, that someone made it to floor 70 with her in just solo. Guys, we gotta start talking about Flutter more. Next is Astro. Astro, pretty good support. His stats are but he does have a huge use, which is doing machines in the middle and near distractors. Shelly just buffs Astro, and he completes them as fast as he can and gets away from the distractors. My bad. And yeah, continues to rush machines, since the meta in this game is rushing machines while also having survivability or stealth or a good support ability. And yeah. Astro passive is a bit iffy. Like, it's decent. Also, devs do not replace his passive with fucking Sprout, but for stamina. That would be horrible, and it would actually be a nerf to him. So do not make his passive, do not change his passive. It would be just a flat out nerf. Please do not. Next is Sprout. Sprout, pretty good. He has good survivability and good ability. His passive is a bit like, being able to see for people for walls is not the best. Like, as long as you're just keeping track where people are, you don't really need the info, honestly. Also, you might be noticing something, that info in this game is not that huge. Unless it's Blackout. But Blackouts are kinda not that greatly designed. But we will ignore that. Anyways, his stats, though, are pretty iffy. They're just flutters, but with 5 stamina. That's it. Next is Tisha. Tisha has the best stats in the game. Straight up the best. She has good extraction. She can distract. And has one of the best abilities in the game. Oh yeah, I forgot to say Sprout's ability is the best. Anyways, Tisha's ability is life-saving. Just give someone a speed boost and they'll go boom. And they'll escape anything. Hell, I'm pretty sure Dazzle will escape Pebble if you just give him it. As long as the Dazzle, uses cover and hugs walls. Next is Pebble. There's a reason why Pebble is up here. He's the best distractor. His abilities are pretty good. He's good at sniffing out tapes for Sprout or items. And yeah, Pebble's pretty decent. I mean, second best, but whatever. My bad. Being able to distract everything is super good, though you cannot distract V plus Pebble. Those two together are impossible to distract. That's all I'm going to say. Next and last is Shelly. Oh, Shelly is so fucking broken, dude. Giving 75% extraction speed with a 60-second cooldown, they just shut straight up busted. My bad. And her passive is really good too. Like, yes, it's Finn's but worse, but it's still really good. Her stats are pretty good too, but her survivability is pretty damn good because of the passive. As long as machines are flying, she will be flying herself. Anyways, next tier list, the Trinket tier list. Starting at the bottom, we got Thinking Cap. Thinking Cap has no use. It's just for new players. Spare Bulb does nothing. Feather Duster, worthless. Speedometer, that's only 3 seconds of running. Coin Purse. 30 tapes is bad. My bad. Fishing Rod. Yeah, I don't think you want common items. Fancy Purse. Exists, I guess. 100 tapes is not that great. Even as Sprout, you're better off using Crayon Set because you'll get more tapes over time with that. Pull Toy. This is just bad. There's no use for it. It's only 10 for the first 10 seconds of the floor, and a floor could possibly last for like 20 plus minutes. Wrench. Just use machine manual. I'm sorry, man. You'll do more machines over time with machine manual. Dandy's plush. Cheaper items are not that great because by the time you get to late game, it'll be useless. Crayon Set. This is only used on Sprout and Tegan, just so you can get some items and waste them. You could get speed candy from it though, so that's pretty good. Bone. Exists, I guess. Savory Charm. This requires you to die. This is only good for new players, but what new player is getting Sprout this early? Diarrhea. Not that great, even with like a Goo plus V. Just don't run it, honestly. Just have a Pebble instead of Goob, and bam, the V will probably be safe, hopefully. Pop Pack, it's okay now. Like, getting a pop is decent, I guess. Machine Manual. Machine Manual is okay. Blushy Bat. This is only good for new players and Tegan, so she could tank. Yeah, it's okay. Sweet Charm. 8% is not that huge. It's mediocre. Blue Bandana is a 1 second difference compared to Machine Manual. Friendship Bracelet. With everyone that is, it's only 8 seconds of running, which is okay. Ribbon Spool. This is only good for Razzle Dazzle, no one else. So, something fell off. Paper fell off. My bad. Anyways, what was I talking about? Hold up. Alright, back. I figured out what I was talking about. My bad. Alright. Next is Furmouse. Furmouse is okay. The good the good items are in A tier. The rest are. Furmouse is okay. It's only kind of good on distractors, but even then, just use Speedy Shoes plus Dog Plush, and you have to use less stamina. My bad. Next is Nightcap. Nightcap has a bigger impact than Furmouse, but it's only while working on a machine. So if you're this is actually good for Finn. So you can quickly run to machines and then quickly restore your stamina. Yeah, it's okay. Shelly, I guess it's decent too. But you're better off using Maglas plus Award or Vimo if Finn. Next is Alarm. Alarm is okay. It's worse than Vanity Mirror by a long shot. But like it's okay if you're like a slow tune. But you're just better off using the next one, Vanity Mirror. Vanity Mirror is pretty good for slow tunes and panic mode because it allows you to run faster by 30%, which is pretty huge for slow tunes. And it will also help you outrun Pebble if needed, though. Twisted Pebble. I don't think you will be outrunning. I don't think. I'm not sure. But it will help. Pink Bow. Pink Bow is up here for a reason. Pretty damn good for slower tunes. Like Razzle Dazzle or V. Yeah, it's just decent. It's good on Astro too. Free speed tunes, it's good too. Because you can't outrun Pebble. As free speed, you'll run the same speed, but churning will make you slower, so yeah. Next is Vimo. Vimo is good for completing machines in the middle, so you don't spend 20 minutes trying to do them. Like you can sometimes that has to be spending an hour trying to do a machine in the middle because Twisteds keep coming back. This is only really an issue in solo though. With distractors, it won't be unless there's like Pacific Twisteds. Next is Dog Plush. Dog Plush is the best trinket for distractors or species, but I would say Dog Plush is actually. But Dog Plush is self-explanatory. You just walk 10% faster, which isn't good for extractors or supports, but it's good for distractors. Next is a participation reward. Participation reward is second best extraction trinket and is really strong when you pair it with magnifying glass. Next is Speedy Shoes. Speedy Shoes is pretty much just mix of Pink Bow and Dog Plush, but weaker than those two, though. But it's stronger than those two, unless you're a distractor, then you go for Dog Plush. But you'll want both of them either way because you want to be fast. Anyways, yeah, the Speed Shoes is really strong. It's pretty much usable everywhere. Next is magnifying glass, which is self-explanatory. It's the best extraction trinket. If my brother is correct, it's about 3 units, which is 5-star skill check, I believe. Yeah. So if he's correct, magnifying glass is super strong at extracting. Next is the items tier list. Starting with the worst. Stopwatch. Where's the use in getting 50 studs? Or whatever it is. in a skill check for 15 seconds. This shit is ass. Next is stealth candy. This is also pretty bad. It's worthless. Never pick it up, honestly. Just don't even eat it, bro. Unless you're Sprout, then free tapes. Enigma candy. You might be wondering why this is lower than gumballs. It's because you have a higher chance at getting like extraction speed or skill check or movement speed, stamina than with like Enigma candy. So that's why it's up here. Next is instructions. Instructions are just bad. No reason to get them. You can't even find them on the floor. You have to buy them from Dandy's shop. So yeah, it's just bad of an item. Next is gumballs. These could be life-saving, or they could help with extraction. Yeah, pretty useless items. Jumper cable. Next is jumper cable. This is just wrench but item form. They're okay. They're best found on the floors. And yeah, that's it. They're good for machines in the metal with like when there's like scraps, goob, pebble, V, fin, whatever. Next is air horn. This item is decent with distractors. Like good for everyone but pebble. That's what I'll say. Next is protein bar. This is only good for distractors again. You pick them up and you'll restore tons of stamina, which will help against Astro plus V if that's what's on the floor. Next, skill check candy. This increases the chance of skill checks, and skill checks are pretty overpowered. So yeah, this item's actually pretty good. Chocolate, once again, another item that is only good for distractors. You can eat them and outwalk Pebble as Pebble if you have Dog Plush plus Speedy Shoes. So yeah, that's pretty good. Plus 25 stamina, so. Next is Valve. This is just female, but item form. It's alright. Next is Bottle Pop. Bottle Pop, I just realized Pop is on this tier list. Wait, hold the fuck on. My bad. If Pop was on this tier list, it would be on B or A. Highest of B or lowest of A. Anyways, Bottle Pop, Bottle Pop is pretty good. Fully restoring your stamina is like Astro, but without AoE. Yeah, it's decent. Huh. Next is Speed Candy. Speed Candy is life-saving for slow speed Toons, as it's pretty much just Tisha's ability. My bad. So yeah, Speed Candy is pretty good. Next is Smoke Bomb. Smoke Bomb would have been much lower if it wasn't so buffed massively. So you can use this while if you are about to get grabbed by Goob or hit by Scraps. You can use it to just completely lose every Twisted. Though you do have to use it around the corner, because if you don't, you're going to just get respotted. So you don't want that to happen. Yeah. Smoke Bomb is insanely strong. Eject Button is really strong too. It's not the best survivability item, as you'll see later. But Eject Button is pretty good. 25 studs of just running and walk speed is really good. And 25 units in stealth. But this just saves your ass. But you have to use it quick or else it's not going to get value. Next is Bandage. Self-explanatory. Health kit, self-explanatory. And box of chocolate. Box of chocolate is really good for one reason. You get 5 uses, separate uses. So that means you can just use 2 and then save the rest for later. Yeah, there's a reason why this is the best survivability item. You get run speed instead of walk speed with chocolate, which means this helps a lot with slow speed tunes when there's Pebble or something. But, yeah. Next tier list is the Twisted tier list. Twisteds are ranked by how threatening they are, starting off with Roger. Do not pick egg capsules when you know he's there, and that's it. He does nothing as long as you're not greedy for Ekar. Next is Tisha. Tisha just most of the time just camps in spots where she shouldn't really be standing, like far away from where the machine is, and she's very bright, so you can just easily easily see her in blackout. Next is Shrimpo. Shrimpo is just slower. He can be an issue with slower tunes, but other than that, he's just annoying. That's it. Next is Brightney. She moves the same speed as commons, but she has the same attention span as Shrimpo. She's pretty easy to spot. You can see her far away because of the bright light, and you can tell if she's on the floor if you hear the extra that sound effect. Lets you know that when she re-rolled the blackout chance, she actually got it. Next is Poppy. Poppy is pretty easy. You can spot her easily in blackout because how bright she is. And yeah, that's it. Boxton. Boxton's is the second most threatening common because blackout, you can't really see him as well, but not as hard as you can see Cosmo. Cosmo is hard to spot in blackout, and his hitbox is actually concerning. Next is Sprout, but this is the main. His tendrils are so easy to spot. In blackout, I think people might have eye issues or something, because that's a weird way to say it, but I never had an issue with his tendrils, and Sprout himself is about the same speed as Shrimpo, and yeah, his detection range is pretty small too. Like, it's super small. Next is Toodles. No, she's not that threatening. Just as soon as you spot her, just go behind cover, and she's gone. Yeah, she's super easy to counter nowadays. If you're just smart, you just go behind cover for 2.2 zeptoseconds, and she's gone. Though she can be an issue if you're a bit slower, which is why we run movement speed trinkets on slow tunes and not extraction fucking trinkets. Next is Tegan. Tegan is a bit more threatening than Toodles for one reason. She takes tapes, which can be an issue if you're Sprout, and she is a bit faster than commons, and has a longer attention span than commons, so she'll actually make more distance than Toodles whenever you cut line of sight. So, yeah. Same with Flutter. But next is Dandy. Dandy is not that hard. He's the slowest Twisted, I believe. He moves the same speed as Finn, I believe, too. But, we won't be talking about Finn for a while for a good-ass reason. My bad. Dandy is just not that hard. Though, if you do find yourself completing a machine with Finn and Dandy in a tight, small little corner, just say GG. Especially when he's close. But don't forget, you can also just prevent him from spawning by just buying items. So that's an easy way to counter him. Next is Flutter. This is just Tegan, but instead of stealing tapes, she constantly runs. She'll always be at running speed, which can be an issue, since it means she'll Oh yeah, she also doesn't stop, so she'll be always running. It's not bad, but it can be very annoying when she just keeps double backing to a machine. Next is Shelly. Shelly is not that bad. She's just Choodles, but bigger and a better attention span, and a passive that slows down extraction. It's not as problematic as it used to be back when she first released, but she's pretty damn easy. Next is Razzle Dazzle. Now they are a bit placement dependent. Like if they're in a spot where they'll do nothing, then they're just gonna do nothing. But there's some spawns where they can be an issue. Example, spawning in a good loop area. This completely removes that loop and you're forced to go somewhere else. And machines. If Razzle Dazzle can see a machine, that machine is going to be 10 times more unsafe to work on. Because if a twisted spots you, you can't run unless you're out of line of sight with Razzle Dazzle. So they can be an issue. Next is Astro. How is Astro on here? He's not that friendly. I believe he has the second or third most attention span in the game, which means yeah, you're kind of cooked if you're a bit slower. He also drains a bunch of stamina, which if you include Pebble plus V, those characters require you to use stamina no matter what. So if you add those two, then you're gonna start to realize your stamina is draining and you're fucking cooked. So there's a reason why Astro's this high. Next is Goob. Goob is not that as threatening as his sister, but he still can be an issue since he'll still outrange your light range. I think he even outranges Brightney's light range, but I'm not sure. Next is Scraps. She has the biggest range. She has better range than her brother, which makes her more threatening. Though Goob does pull you in, which could put you in a bad spot, but the bigger range is something you'll notice with Scraps. Now, at the most threatening, almost game enders of Twisteds, Glisten. Glisten is super fast. Not faster than Pebble, though. He's not faster than Pebble, remember that. No matter what, he's not faster than Pebble. I don't know where people are getting their information from. Maybe from their tiki-takis. But, yeah, Glisten is not faster than Pebble in any way or form. Shape or form. But, he's still an issue, as you don't really want a Twisted that is almost as fast as Pebble. You really don't want that. So he forces you to stay near him for a bit. But if you get Pebble v Astro or Scraps Goob, you are cooked most of the time because they'll spot you and kick you off Glisten, and then bam, Glisten is running around the map and you have Pebble but slower walking around the map. Oh yeah, he is also better at turning corners than Pebble. But yeah. Super dangerous Twisted and is super unfun to face, especially in solo. Next is Pebble. Pebble is the fastest Twisted with also the biggest aggro range. Yeah. If he spots you, hug walls as tight as you can or else GG. He is so fast that he cooks anything. Next is V. If you're free speed, with just Toodles or Shelly, you'll be hit by V slowdown. but if you're 4 speed or 5 speed, you'll outrun it. V plus Pebble, though, is the most dangerous combo, as it's a guaranteed hit, no matter what. But it's not as dangerous as Finn. Finn is the most dangerous Twisted in the game, because he makes every Twisted a threat. He himself does nothing. He's super easy to avoid. He's super slow. I'm pretty sure free speed with no speed trinkets can outwalk Finn. He's that slow, but it's his passive that makes him one of the most deadly Twisteds in the game. He makes every Twisted a threat except for Roger, of course. And yeah, Finn is not fun. You have to constantly make sure when you're about to complete a machine, you have to make sure you're not about to get chased, or else it's a guaranteed hit unless it's Finn. And if you're far away enough, if you're not, you're getting hit. But that concludes it for this video. I'll see you guys tomorrow, never, or whenever. Bye.